What's up guys, it's Khalifa and I'm here again. Today I'm representing the Kenya Kennels. As we are speaking right now, I'm at the East African Kennel Club, and there'll be some few competitions about Boerboels, and you guys are going to see more. I'm not going to talk much. As you can see, the place is almost being full and everything. Behind here, what you guys are seeing the kennels. And anyway guys, I'm not going to talk much. I want you guys to see everything for yourselves. Yo, let's meet up.
You guys are?
Steven Jeru.
I'm Jacob Bungonyi.
And the other fellows over there.
Oh, there. You have Tikva. That's Tikva, you know. And the boy down there, that's Akub.
So how old is Tikva?
Tikva is 20 months. Akub is 16 months.
Oh, okay. And where did you guys get the motivation? Multiple motivation ya kwanza kuweka madogi.
Okay. Ndio pia shanga. Okay. Mimi nianzaga kubreed dogi 1994.
Ulianza
nilikuwa form 2. Nilikuwa nataka kucheki World Cup. Na kwa na steamer. So mbuyo kambi nijisort. So kuna dogi zilikuwa hapo hivyo. Iko na ni aje. So nikabreed, nilikuwa na kazi kopoa. Mimi nilikuwa najua tu one or two. Kaanza kwa gazeti hiyo time hatukoga na internet. Unaona, so ni kwa gazeti. Buda zikasonga. Zilisonga, zilikuwa nauza 4K moja. Nilikuwa nauza 6K moja.
Ilikuwa dogi tu.
Ilikuwa ni Rhodesian Ridgeback na ilikuwa crossbreed Rhodesian Ridgeback na Session. Nika make 24K nikabuy kativika small na beta. Yenyewe nikaimbui.
Steve.
Is my brother, the elder brother. So your motivation ilikuwa kumobserve akiwa na madogi na pia nikaitadash nazo. From there the passion grew. So for me, actually officially became a breeder at say 2010. Yeah, around 2010. We started now doing Rottweilers. And from there on now we moved on to Boerboels.
And what made you stop with the Rottweilers? Because I think they are quite a good breed.
No, a great breed, but I feel I prefer the temperament of Boerboels as opposed to Rottweilers. Personally, I don't know what Jacob would say.
I think I would rate the Rottweiler as the best guard dog. You know, I find it very alert. Its drive is on point. But I think for a person who has a family, Rottweiler is not the best. If you're a gangster, you know, Rottweiler is one of the best dogs. You have a Kayad, you have a go down, you know. Rottweiler is good, but Boerboel is more of a family dog. So I prefer the Boerboel. And also the other thing I also like about the Boerboel, it doesn't bark much. So when it is barking, you know there is something.
Yes. So from here, what's the next step? With the Tikva and
Akub. Tikva and Akub are actually 2 of 6 dogs we have. And what we planning to do is to have the first breeding with them. But the reason why we have these 2 is because Akub, we have him because of his height. That's the reason why we bought him. We bought him because the mother was quite tall, and he turned out to be like his mother. So we're happy about that. Tikva, we bought her because of who her father is. Her father is Maximus Lapiona, who's actually a very top dog. Yeah.
So what do you guys feed Yakub and Tika?
We mostly feed them meat, beef, and kibble.
And what would you advise the guys who buy the dog meal? Because there are different types of dog meal. For us here in Kenya, those guys wanaenda kwa kisiagi, kuna watu wanapea unga, kuna watu wanapea rice, kuna watu wanapea omena. So unga advise that.
I'd say the best results for me out of experience would be kibble. Because kibble has a lot of some have fish in it, some have poultry, some have beef. You know, it depends on what you're looking for with your dog. Whether you want to beef it up, whether you want it to be lean. You know, it's all about how you want your dog to be. I think kibble is the best because it encompasses a lot more nutrients in one feeding, as opposed to picking something different and cooking it. I think kibble is much easier of a program to include in a program.
And I also think some of this food usually imekuwa stored.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So if you're going to take and do it for yourself, you go find a guy who has stored his meat poorly and it has aflatoxin.
Yes.
The next thing you know, you're going to kill your dogs. So we also used to do that. Tukaenda kujiletea rice hapa na mix na hii. It may seem cheap, but think about it, the firewood which you're using to cook. There's a cost. Secondly, also the time, yes, that's also another cost. Then the labor of doing that is also another cost. So at the end of the day, I who is buying kibble, I might spend more, but my dog will get better nutritional content, and will be safer. And I know my chances of my dogs dying are very slim, unless it's an infection or something, but not from the food.
What would you average the cost per dog?
Per dog, I would say I would rather calculate per month.
Okay, per month per dog.
Per month per dog, I would say it goes from 8 to 10k. Per month. What do I mean? You break it down to the beef that we buy, and also we buy fat for them. We also do chicken. Then there's a kibble. Then also you have to factor in any vet costs. Cases. So that's what I'm saying, it will range.
Supplements.
Yeah, and also the supplements, calcium. Then also remember the pestigon for the fleas. Also we give them cod liver oil. So you see there's also that cost as well. Also we give them eggs. And also you deworm them. In regards to feeding, a lot of guys make a lot of mistakes. Because hizi kuku mob ambazo tunabai zimeinjectiwa vitu mob, ziko na madawa, zimeinjectiwa steroids. So unapatia doggy chicken heads, hizi ma one day old chicks. Then most often the female dogs, the ones which are usually affected most of the time. So you find hata give birth inakuwa na shida. Unapata pia mapapi zako zina dedi. So cheap is in the long run expensive. So if you're doing this for pets, poor, if you want to do this as a breeder, a serious breeder, lazima utumie ganji. Hii si ile project wasewa wanasemanga ati umepata place wanaweza kufanya unapata gold. Ni kuchukua tu dogi A and dogi B. Breeding is actually a serious business. I think it should only be done by serious guys. Because kama hizi dogi zetu, you see, now we are here doing appraisals. They'll be given a ranking, they'll have a certificate, and then based on their rankings and their appraisal and the scores, we know now how to match them. We know how to match them. We know this is not the best matching, but these are the foundation dogs. When you come next year, the dogs we shall be breeding will be way better than these dogs. When you come in 5 years' time, you'll be meeting an almost a perfect dog. When you come in 7 years' time, that dog will be flawless, hopefully. So that's what as a breeder you should aim for, which means also how you feed your dogs really counts a lot. So it's an expensive affair. Of course, at the end of the day, once you get a litter, you're a happy guy. But getting there is not an easy journey. It's not an easy journey, as a lot of guys make it seem. Unapata dogi hizi mob zimeenda zimewekwa kwenye nyumba tu ambao iko mainzi kila mahali, zina Manjaro, kadogi katupiwa sembe once in a while pia. Alafu na expect ati hapo naenda kuniuzia ati ni pedigree dog. Mimi zangu naanguza so wewe unataka kuza yako 60 mzee. Mzee tunaanza duka food kama baya mine. Iko na pepa ya na parents vile wako na kama Kennel zao na ziko safi, vaccination iko on point. So yeah, I think with time, especially with BAA coming into the scene, the Boerboel Association of East Africa, the breeding space will become sanitized, because we have a lot of charlatans and amateurs who are really messing up a good name for the Boerboel and breeding. So I think BAA has been a very good boon for us, because it will mean now people will have to be professional. Na pia wale wasema wanaenda kubuy dogi, unajua with time utakuwa unataka dogi ambayo iko na makaratasi. So na kama niuliza yeye unaweza dogi so iko na pepa, na ambia ina pepa, sawa utabuy hiyo dogi so. Na mimi yangu ni so iko na pepa. So I think with time that's what's going to happen, so yeah, we start, they say things don't go wrong, they start wrong. And they say as you start as you mean to go. So we want to start right, and that's why we're also here in the appraisal.
Dogi kama sahi at this vile iko kubwa, let's say someone else buys it, so it will be very hard for him to control it or something like that.
No, not with Boerboels.
Not really.
Boerboels.
With Boerboels, the good thing is their temperament, and for us as esoteric mastiffs, that's our kennel. We train them basic obedience. So you see, if you continue doing that, it is imprinted at some point. It is imprinted in a genetic. So for Boerboels, the thing I'd say, if you're buying a Boerboel, start training it at an early age, because these dogs can be immense and huge, and you need to be able to control them, whether in public, whether in your compound, name it. So training is very essential when they're puppies. Talk about 3 months onwards to 6 months. Yeah.
Alafu another thing, your kennel, there's a name for your kennel or?
Yes, there is. Yeah, esoteric mastiffs.
Yeah.
Okay, so ESETORIK mastiffs, MASTIFFS. Yeah, esoteric mastiffs. You can find us on IG with the same name, and also on Facebook as well. Yes.
And when will you guys be ready to sell the puppies you're expecting?
Hopefully by July, we should be having a litter from these two. Yeah. So we should be looked at in July. But obviously we shall make it official on our social pages, Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
There's nothing really wrong with this. The head of this dog, even the lips, there's a little bit open on the side, but nothing serious, nothing much. Stayed compact. The body shape is very compact still, and the ratios and the proportions of the body shape is good. I must just get a picture, just for our reminders. Okay, wonderful. Yep. We're busy evaluating the head of the dog, and what we are looking at is the levels, the ratios, the sizes. On the head, my comments on the head. It falls away a little bit under the eye. That's not bad because it's got a very, very big head, and well-structured head. The only problem on this dog is the lips. The lips are totally open. The little catch pockets on the sides, as you can see, they don't even form a ridge. They just flopped open, and even the top lip is too long, and the bottom lip is long. So that's a definite limit on the dog, is that the lips and the lip structure is not good on it. If I look at the neck of the dog, the rest of the head of the dog, everything looks very, very good. The chest shows me a little bit of a sternum, so I know that the angulation is going to be good. The movement of the dog when he was running for a big dog was quite smooth, so it shows me that there's a match in the angulation of the dog. If I look at the dog from the back is broad, nicely shaped. The loin is actually quite strong, very strong, and even the hindquarter of the dog is good. This is in the right circumstances, and with the right females, this is a good breeding dog. A lot of potential there. This dog is very young, and it clearly lacks a bit of confidence and exposure, but I like what I see. There's very good stable movement there. The dog needs to be socialized. One more time around, sir. Okay, the dog definitely needs some socialization. You can see she's trying to find out everything that's happening around, and she wants to look at all other dogs, and she's not used to this, right? So it's difficult. But looking at her moving, she's a very light mover. Even though she's looking all over, her top line is staying absolutely stable, and she's looking good. She's really looking good. Oh, how old is this dog, Danny?
Yeah, 12 months.
12 months old. Congratulations. This is a beautiful dog for 12 months old. Right. And a dog with a lot of potential. Right. Really a dog with a lot of potential. Yeah, the dog just lacks a bit of confidence. It's a little bit of a fearful dog, so take the dog and show her what life is all about and what the world is all about. Pigmentation on this dog is excellent. It's dark. The toenails are dark, the foot pads are dark, the surrounds of the eyes and the nose is dark. It's a very good dog, but she likes to play with her boss. But that's her escape. The moment she feels a little bit threatened, she wants to jump up on the boss. That's her security, and she must learn that she is the security, not the boss. You only pull up the top lip. But Danny, you could see, it looks like a silver, huh? Yeah.
Leave light, you have to run 20 times around the ring.
Wait, let me just take a picture first. Wait, I need to see your number on your shoulder. That's it. And that's Mr. Biggie. Mr. Biggie. What was that program on television? Sex in the City with Mr. Big. This is Mr. Biggie. Yeah. Mr. Biggie runs like a tank. Very solid, very sturdy. Low on the ground, a little bit low, but very stable, very solid. Okay, right. Let's see when the dog comes back now. In fact, on height and on length, it's a very good male. It's a compliment for dogs. This dog's got a very good head shape. You can again use this dog as an example of head shape. Look at the lips on the side. They're a little bit long, but they're not open. That bottom lip is still closed. There's still a very distinct bucket there that can catch the saliva and remove it down the throat and not out on the ground. The neck of the dog is beautiful. The pigmentation is good. Looks very good. In general, this dog has got massive thick front legs for its height. It's actually even a little bit out of balance because of those legs. I would have expected a dog of a bigger height with that. The structure of the dog is good, but my comment on it on the negative side is size, height. That dog is just for a male, just on the minimum height. It could have been quite a bit higher, right? Because that dog is so well put together, but the legs are short. It's a little bit short in the legs for the structure of the body of that dog. If it had a little bit longer legs, that would have been a very perfect or very close to a very high scoring dog. It will still score quite well because that's a male that you can use on selected females, especially your taller females, your taller, more E type of female dogs, of which we've seen quite a lot here. That dog can be used very successfully in those breedings and matches. I do just see something else. Let me just have a look. Biggie. Okay. Now, I was suspecting that he's got bit of entropion or ectropion in the eyes because his eyes are watering a bit. But when I look closer, the eyelids are actually quite firm and there's no sign of an infection or anything there. I think it's an allergy or something that is causing the dog just to have a little bit of discharge on the eyes. But watch that. If the dog is not in the show ring or being cleaned or whatever, and you see the gum starting to back up around the eyes, know that there's a problem, that there is an infection that happens at times. Especially the left eye. In the old days, if you look at the back of the legs of the dog, it's got a comb of hair, a little bit longer hair there. They used to penalize that, but we left that. That is no longer a penalization in the breed standard. This dog's strongest feature, the most exceptional thing about the dog, is the thickness of the front legs. It's got incredible bone on those front legs. Its biggest negative feature is the height, how tall the dog is. Also a little bit of a lack of confidence in this dog. She wants to do things, but she doesn't know if she's allowed to do it, and she's sniffing the ground, and she's very unsure of what's happening. Yeah, take a little bit slow, and let's see if it helps with her confidence. Yes. But a very good looking female.
Confidence is taking away from her movement because she's slightly crouching, so
Yes.
it won't be a true evaluation. But anyway, you can compare with her.
You probably never heard anybody else before telling you to come and talk to your dog. When they always say, talk to your dog here, so I can have a look at it.
Nice head. Only thing it takes away from me on the head is the shape eyes, and they bulging out if you look at it from the side. Curve of the legs, exceptional. Front pastons are a bit short, and you can see the left one turned up slightly. If you go to the rear of the female, she's got an excellent hindquarter, good musculature. And she's slightly unmatched in her angulation. But it doesn't take much away from it. Unfortunately, we couldn't judge her movement because of a crouching action. So, yes, but in general, very nice female. Excellent. Well done, sir. You want to have this lead rating on you. Thank you, Genesis Bulldogs.
Thank you. Okay, right. Can the other sponsors please come up? Right, Dennis, get to a position on that side.
You've got 68.
Very, very good potential. Okay. She's just so correct. We could give very little negative comment about the dog at all. Can you bring the dog here, please? Let's bring it closer to the front. She needs a lot of work on socialization. The prize.
All the sponsors, Yatera, Nkaba, Bravo, and Roberto, that's Cooper's Run, our pocket as well. Thank you all for coming over and supporting this event. Have a good day. Thank you.